Hey guys, so today I have my answer to the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading tag. It is not originally mine, it's another booktuber's who I will link below. Get Bookish has been tagged by 3 different booktubers, so this is one answer. No! Oh god! Hi! This is our first joint video for you guys. We decided to do this tag together now that Les has come home.
We're home!
Decided to grace us with her presence. So, yeah, we're gonna double the answers for you and sort of kill 2 innocent, beautiful birds with 1 gigantic bloody stone.
Boom!
My most expensive book is this beauty right here. I'm gonna cover your face. Okay. Oh, look, that works well. Okay. It's the ESPN World Cup champion book, and it was about like 30 bucks, I think. And it has a lot of really pretty pictures inside, which is why it's so expensive. And I did read this entire thing because even though I am not sporty at all, I have a thing for soccer / football. Love the FIFA World Cup, love the Euro Cup, so excited for that in June.
I'm a little bit of a bandwagon fan off of Becca. Becca gets really excited about it. I think it's pretty cool, so. And she texts me the day before and goes, "There's a game tomorrow, are you coming?"
So, what's your most expensive book?
My most expensive book is, I don't know, y'all are gonna think this is dorky. It's Good Poems, American Places by Garrison Keillor, and it was also approximately $30. I actually got this when I was at the National Book Festival on the National Mall this September in Washington, D.C., and the greatest part about this book is because I met him there, like I've told you before, and he signed it, and it's beautiful, and it's right there, and I love him, and he touched my face like I was his granddaughter, and it was adorable, and it was wonderful, and I love Garrison Keillor.
He also kind of looks like a fish.
He looks like a trout.
My least expensive book is The Motel Life by Willie Vlottin. I think I got this book for like $3 or $4. It was on sale, obviously. And I just picked it up because it sounded kind of interesting. I read it. It's really weird.
My least expensive book cost me $1 at the Barnes & Noble used section of our local Barnes & Noble. It's Rebecca West's The Meaning of Treason, and if you can look at that, it's sort of been through the mill a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but this is all taped together. I think I did that myself. It's a pretty nice patch job.
The only thing that looks cool about the book is the fact that we share the same first name.
Yeah, I haven't read this yet, and I can't actually tell you what it's about because I don't know, and it doesn't say anywhere on it. Haven't bothered to look that up on the internet, but
why did you get it?
Because it looked cool in the store, and I really wanted to. You expect me to walk into a bookshop and not buy something?
We did that the other day.
Okay, and it did torment to my soul.
If they'd had a really good, cheap young adult book in there, I probably would have bought it.
Did you know they put John Green in the children's section? I personally don't think Looking for Alaska goes in the children's section.
No. I need to borrow The Fault in Our Stars from you because I need to read it.
Ooh.
Did you give it to somebody?
No, I just don't want to let it out of the house.
Oh my god. My choice is Libba Bray. I originally read the Gemma Doyle trilogy, Great and Terrible Beauty, Rebel Angels, and A Sweet Far Thing, and I'm rereading it actually right now, but I love this series. It's one of my favorite series. The whole plotline itself is kind of epic. Yeah. However, reading her 2 more recent books, Going Bovine and Beauty Queens, I was thoroughly let down. They were actually really bad.
Ouch.
I can see why some people would like them, but Beauty Queens was just too weird for me, and Going Bovine it took me a really long time to get through that book because it was so weird. So, love some of the books she's written, but hate the others, so yeah, love-hate relationship with Libba Bray.
I have a little bit of a problem with Jane Austen. Not because I don't like what she writes, not because it's not interesting, not because she's classic, not because it's written in old-timey things, writing language. But this book doesn't have enough punctuation.
That's a good answer.
So many run-on sentences. I have to go and read things many a time because by the end of what she says, I've forgotten what she said 2 pages ago because, oh wait, that's where the capitalized letter was when the sentence started.
Pulls by Louis Sachar. I've read this book so many times, especially when I was younger.
And in school.
Yeah.
We read it a lot.
We read it in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
She read it to us in 3rd grade.
And then we read it again in like 4th grade.
I'm pretty sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
But I also read it on my own previously, and I remember going to see the movie when the movie came out. And yeah, I don't reread books that often, but this book I have reread many, many times.
I read this book for the first time, I believe, at the end of middle school in like 7th or 8th grade, and I reread it again every single summer because it's a book about summertime. It's The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. And I don't know what it is. I can recite to you pieces of this book on end, and it's got great characters. I'm sorry, it does. It's got great characters.
Leslie's in love with the male lead.
Also that, and I like it a lot.
This thing right here, the quincunx, I believe is how you pronounce it. It is gigantic, has very, very tiny font, and it's basically, as far as I can tell, an epic story about different people and how their lives intertwine. I've had this book for probably maybe 4 years, 5 years, and I have yet to read it. It just continually sits on my to-be-read pile, and I stare at it and think, someday I will read you, but now is not the time because you are so large and the font is so tiny.
Mind you, I've actually started this book. In the 12th grade, I bought Treasure Island. Can you tell that there's a bookmark in there? Because I started this book, and I got to part 2. And I tell myself all the time, I'll finish Treasure Island someday. Today is not that day.
I thought you'd finish it.
That's because it was on my Goodreads as I was reading it for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
No, I should probably just start from the beginning again, because I sort of remember what's going on, but probably not in enough detail to really understand. I will eventually read Treasure Island someday. I really want to. Really, really want to.
Oh, fun fact about Les and I is that we both had AP English and AP Lit together in high school, so we read a lot of books, many of them boring, and whenever you bring them up in a conversation, they're the kind of books that make you sound super smart. Mm-hmm. So I have a couple of those here that I own that I did read. Already mentioned, we actually read Pride and Prejudice on our own.
Together.
But yeah, we read
Aloud.
it together, out loud, with accents. Jane Eyre, I really enjoyed this one. So Bronte beats Austen, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Catcher in the Rye, didn't care for this one.
Really?
Yeah.
That was okay.
He's too whiny.
Mm.
Mrs. Dalloway, Virginia Woolf, yeah, definitely.
Greater appreciation for that after you read The Hours.
Yes, definitely.
Also,
I did like The Hours. We read The Hours.
Also, if you meet the author of The Hours, Michael Cunningham.
Oh, by the way, the Wide Sargasso Sea, the follow-up to this, is the most horrible thing. It's so bad.
No. Similarly, I also pick Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. This is the nice Barnes & Noble Classics edition because I really, really liked this book. I liked the fact that the masculine characters were super effeminate and the feminine characters were really kind of masculine, and I thought it was funny. I talk about this all the time to make me kind of sound like I know what I'm talking about.
When we read Pride and Prejudice together, we actually had 2 different copies, and we found all the little differences between the different publishers and sort of what they'd taken to do that. I think, you know,
we should do this.
It would be interesting to read these together. We read it together with totally different copies.
Mine is,
and
way bigger.
I know, right?
And they do that thing where they have like the line. For
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody in this entire world know why in old texts they have words with like half of it has a line through it,
especially names of places?
Yeah. Like we asked our AP
on?
Lit teacher about it, and she didn't even know.
She didn't know.
In our case, we're both attracted to men, so we're going to talk about male characters. This should be of no surprise to people who know me, but I'm attracted to characters that are cynical or sarcastic, as long as it is not extremely derogatory, because then it's not really being sarcastic, it's just being mean, and there is a difference.
Ooh, sassy!
A character who stands up for what he believes in, a strong character, somebody who doesn't flip-flop, who isn't whiny, and also in terms of looks, sort of attracted to guys who have blonde hair. Definitely still like guys with brown hair, red hair, you know, whatever.
Purple.
But
green.
That might be a little weird.
Okay.
But blonde, something about blonde. So if a character is described as being blonde, I'm immediately paying more attention to him.
Similarly, I also chose as an attribute tolerably sarcastic.
That's...
I mean, you can't just be straight-faced all the time. I'm sorry. It's not a thing that you can do.
And you can't be a guy character who's, like, overly nice all the time.
Yeah, then it just becomes unrealistic.
It's annoying.
Sorry, it's true. I also picked the attribute makes you see things in a different way. Sort of, like, makes you look at things from a new perspective. That's a really big deal. I'm immediately paying more attention to guy characters that sort of provide that moment of revelation for other characters in the book. And I need characters to be well described. That's not any fault of their own, nor does it give them any accolades. But if the author has done a poor job of describing you, I'm not gonna find you interesting. I need, like, Augustus Waters and The Fault in Our Stars. He's a beautifully described character, and I think without that description, he wouldn't be so attractive. I mean, that's just the only way you can put it.
So now you like Augustus and Wes.
Wes is the lead character in The Truth About Forever, and I love him.
I would personally love to receive the box set of The Hunger Games. I do not own the books. I borrowed them when I read them, and my sister owns the first copy, but it's hers, so I don't actually own any, so, you know, if you're feeling really generous.
I would like to receive a classic and vintage collection in full of the entire Trixie Belden mystery series. Stop looking like that.
You and Trixie Belden.
They're great books.
Actually, written for, like, 10-year-olds.
You know what? That may be true. There may be drawings in them. There may be pictures.
So that wraps our video with the 7 questions for the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading tag. Les and I are, you know, gonna go read Jane Eyre because we're really cool like that. And thanks for watching. We're not gonna tag anybody because everybody else has already been tagged. Thanks for watching. Info's all, you know, down below, the doobly-doo. Like check it if you feel it, you know. Bye!
Bye!